Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Jar of Fireflies. My name is Chana and here you will find videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 3. And tonight, Passover has just ended. Okay, so Passover has ended literally minutes ago and I thought, hey, I'll just grab my camera and bring you guys along and show you what happens after Passover ends. So just in case you don't know what's going on, for the past 8 days it has been Passover and we have not been eating anything with chametz in it. Chametz being things like bread and crackers and such. So we've also only used certain dishes, certain pots and pans, and certain kinds of food this past week. And my kitchen was turned topsy-turvy to get ready for this holiday, and now I've got to put it all back together. Oh, and for the past 2 days, they have been a Yom Tov. So we had Shabbat and then one more day of holiday, which was very similar to Shabbat in the restrictions that we have as far as no driving, no phones, things like that. Okay, so like I said, that has all just ended and it's time to get back to life as normal, almost. Okay, so we still can't eat any of the food in our house that wasn't for Passover for about another hour because we sold all of that before the holiday and that isn't going to be bought back for about another hour. So we have to wait till then for that. Okay, so I have just finished making my kids some pasta because they were hungry. It is still kosher for Passover pasta because we still can't get anything that's not kosher for Passover. So that's happening right now. And other than that, I'm just gonna start going around and taking care of a few things and film and explain and take you along for what's going on. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so this is such a small thing, but I was most looking forward to running the garbage disposal after the holiday ended. Because those previous 2 days were Yom Tov, I couldn't flick that switch and run the garbage disposal, and I don't have a drain cover for my sink that is for Passover this year. So it got really backed up and was full of like stuff. Even though I tried to not let food go down the drain, it still happened. So yeah, I was very happy to go ahead and run the garbage disposal. After that, I grabbed some soap to run the dishwasher. After lunch today, I had just loaded the dishes in the dishwasher instead of washing them so I could go ahead and run them in the dishwasher now that the holiday was over. After that, I moved over to unplug the hot plate. That's what we use to keep our food warm over the holiday. And then I moved on to pulling the tape off of some of our cabinets. I had tape over some of these cabinets and drawers, and that was just really as a reminder to not open them during Passover because those cabinets and drawers contained items that were not kosher for Passover. And also I had not cleaned those areas for Passover because we were simply not going to use those spaces. After I had gotten those couple of quick things done, the pasta was ready to come off the stove, so I went ahead and put that on plates for the kids. And I have to say, I was thoroughly unimpressed with this kosher for Passover pasta. It literally fell apart. It was supposed to be wagon wheel pasta. It looked more like, I don't know, absurd couscous. But hey, if there's one thing I've learned about my kids, if I put enough cheese on anything, they're gonna love it. Okay, next up on my list of things to do is get a load of laundry started. Okay, so we're not supposed to be doing laundry over the entire holiday of Passover, so 8 days of no laundry. Plus we had Shabbat before, so that's really 9 days. Now there are some exceptions to this, especially if you have young children. You may certainly wash your young children's dirty clothes, and to fill out the load, you can wash your clothes as well. However, I didn't end up needing to do that much laundry. So here by the end of the holiday, quite a lot of laundry had piled up, as well as towels, sheets, and things like that. Okay, so I guess that's about all that I'm gonna be doing for now. I still have plenty to do, but for the moment, I'm just gonna wait for the men to get home from services, maybe in the next 30 minutes or so, and see what we're gonna do with them. My family that has been visiting, they're gonna be packing up because they're leaving first thing in the morning, which is sad. The end of the holidays are always a little bittersweet for me. I am ready to get back to normal life. We're ready to get back into school and activities and things like that that we do throughout a normal week. But at the same time, the holidays are so special and you kind of want them to last forever. So it's a little bit of both. but I don't know, I was definitely a little bit moody today for sure. I kind of just wanted to be alone a lot of the time, and I don't know, but it was fine. But I can sit here with the wonderful memories that we had throughout the holiday. We had a fantastic time. We had wonderful meals, great food, great family for company, friends coming over, going out and seeing friends at the park. Like, it's been a fantastic holiday. I could not ask for more. But again, it is kind of nice to get back to real life too. So it's a little bit of everything. I guess if it was a holiday every day, it wouldn't be special. All right, so what I have left to do, and this is mostly things that I think I'm going to be doing tomorrow, is right now we've been kind of using my craft room here as sort of a second overflow pantry. Here, I'll show you. So yeah, all of that stuff needs to get put away, and I need to put my room back together. All of the shelves that we had lined with foil for Passover that you guys saw in my Koshering the Kitchen video, I need to pull everything off of those shelves, pull the foil off of those, and then all the stuff that I had pulled from those shelves and put other places, I need to put everything back where it belongs. And I also need to open up the pantry, which we have a bookshelf in front of the pantry right now. And that was so that like even my toddler wouldn't open the pantry, because he would totally just go in there and help himself to whatever all through the holiday. We didn't want that to happen. So we just put that bookshelf with the pots and pans there in front of the door so nobody went in there. And I don't even want to move that until it's the time that we are allowed to go back in there, which is about an hour after the holiday ends, which I guess we're coming up on fairly soon. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna sit here and relax, wait for the guys to get home. It really should be any minute at this point, and see what happens next. Once all the men got home, we got a closing ceremony ready, sort of a modified Havdalah ceremony to close out the holiday.
Rosh Yeshuot Esav Shem Adonai Ekra Na Adonai Hoshi'ana Na Adonai Hoshi'ana Na Adonai Yatzlichana Anna Adonai Yatzlichana Atzlichenu, Atzlich Derachenu, Atzlich Lemudenu, Atzlich Hazakenu, Atzlich Parnasatenu, Atzlich Chinuch Yiladenu, Shlach Beracha, Revacha Ve'atzlacha Bechol Ma'aseh Yadenu, Ki Dichtiv Yisa Verachem et Adonai וצדקה מאלוהי שאול היהודים הייתה רואה בשמחה וששון ויקחתי בית דוד החודר המשכיל ואדוני עמו כן יהיה עמנו תמיד צברי מרנן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המבדיל בין קודש לחול ובין אור לחושך ובין ישראל לעמים ובין יום השביעי לששת ימי המעשה ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול.
After that was complete, the kids grabbed some yarn, and their uncle, my brother-in-law, taught them how to do finger knitting. I was super excited about this because this is something that I've been wanting to teach the kids for a while, but it is not something that I personally know how to do. So because he does, this was really great. As you can see, it was met with mixed results, but the kids had fun, and I also got to learn, so it's something that we'll be able to continue doing at home on our own. While the kids were busy in there working on their finger knitting, I moved that bookshelf that I had just told you guys about to get into our pantry. I wanted to go in and see what there was, just kind of an overview of what I had to look forward to as far as what to take out of the pantry, and also to find something to eat. I don't even know what I want. Okay, so with that short closing ceremony done and the kids quite entertained over there with their finger knitting, I think I'm going to go to bed. My husband and the family are probably going to go over to a neighbor's house for a little after Passover celebration. I'm tired. And as an introvert, I'd kind of just like to be alone. So I'm going to go to bed and work on some of the rest of this stuff tomorrow as far as getting my kitchen put back together. So see you guys in just a few moments. All right, good morning. It is about 7 a.m. I am tired. I did get a great night's sleep last night, but then this morning diabetes was a super jerk around the same time that my family was all heading out. So I ended up waking up then, and I've stayed awake to make sure that diabetes is doing okay. If you didn't know, my older son has type 1 diabetes. So that is something that we deal with constantly in our lives, and it pops up from time to time in my videos. Okay, back to Passover stuff. All right. Since I am awake early, I thought, hey, this is probably a great opportunity to go ahead and get some of this work done on the kitchen and putting things back together after Passover, since the house is so quiet. With the family gone and my kids asleep, which they were probably sleeping pretty late this morning because they were up until, I don't know, probably midnight or so. I don't even think I was up as late as they were, except for my toddler. He did go to bed early, but everybody else stayed up super late, soaking in all the last cousin time that they could. It was the cutest thing, but I was tired, so I went to bed. But anyway, so I'm up early and I can get to work, so let's do it. Okay, first up was to get to the laundry. You know, I had run that one load last night, but I had countless loads awaiting me. I ended up, I think, doing 5 loads of laundry throughout the day. It was a lot, but that's okay because I got it done. Okay, then I wanted to go ahead and unload the dishwasher that I had run the night before. And some of these things I'm just putting straight on the counter to start sorting everything out, and other things I am somewhat successfully placing on the kitchen table because those are items that we need to store for Passover next year. These are items that we only use for Passover. It's mostly small appliances like the crock pot and the food processor, things like that, but there's also some plastic items like plastic Tupperware containers, cutting boards, things like that. Plastic cannot be koshered for Passover, which is why that has to be very specific for Passover. So later on today, once I finish sorting these out, I'm going to put them all in a big plastic tub with a lid that I can just store in a closet till next year. Okay, and now it's time to get started on all of the cabinets. So first I had to pull everything out of the cabinets so that I could pull off the foil that I had lined each of the cabinet shelves with before Passover. So I just need to throw that away and then I'll put everything back on the shelves. Of course, I had rearranged most of the shelves because I did not line every single shelf in my kitchen and I didn't kosher everything in my kitchen, but I started with this cabinet in particular because these glasses were just going right back where they had just come down from. So that just made that a little bit easier and helped me feel like I was making a bit more progress. Quite a few items though did need to just go down onto the counters because they belonged somewhere else in the kitchen and I was really focused on this one area, or I wasn't totally sure where they were going to go yet because we did get some new things over Passover for Passover that we are going to continue using year round. This cabinet we had used pretty much like a pantry, so most of these items I'm just pulling out and taking straight over to our actual pantry instead of putting them on the counter or something like that. I'm trying to get everything done as I go, the best that I can. So the rest of the cabinets and the drawers in the kitchen are pretty much just a repeat of this process over and over again, pulling everything out, pulling off the foil, and putting everything away, whether it is in the cabinet that they just came from or somewhere else in my kitchen. That top shelf that I just pulled that foil off of that was covering the whole thing, that was just non-Passover stuff. So I just covered it up so that we wouldn't touch it or use it. So now with that uncovered, I can pull everything out of there, just like on the other shelves, to start putting everything away. I had also stored quite a bit in our pantry because it is a walk-in pantry. There was plenty of space for me to put things like our water urn and things like that. So I started pulling all of those small appliances that are normally out on our counters throughout the year and pulling those out to put them back on the counter. Okay, now on to the dining room. Okay, first I wanted to just clear off this table and then remove the tablecloth. This tablecloth my sister-in-law brought me from New York and it fits our table so perfectly, and we decided we would use this one just for Shabbat and holidays. So we are covering it with plastic. I talked about that in a previous video, but this plastic wasn't used, so I'm just gonna fold that up and save it for the next time we're eating at this table. So as I'm pulling this tablecloth off, you can see that it really is just giant pieces of wood that is completely unfinished. So I definitely want to cover this table up during the week as well. And I will be covering this table with the tablecloth that I made, just with some extra wide quilting fabric. My husband is talking about using this tabletop to create just a whole new table that he will build for us. So we'll see what happens with that and what we end up with eventually in this dining room. But a new dining room table is something we've been talking about for just forever. So I'm so glad that we're finally taking steps in that direction. But there's our new tablecloth for the weekday, which I just used a giant piece of fabric that I hemmed. Okay, back in the kitchen, I'm just starting to pull some things off of the counters and wipe them down, just get everything nice and clean, and then start bringing things back out. These things were stored in the pantry or other places around the kitchen, just to start putting things back together the way that they look when it's not a holiday. Well, specifically the holiday of Passover, because we don't have to do this to our kitchen for any other holiday. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that like button. It helps me know what kinds of videos you guys like to see, and it helps my channel out a lot. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. There is, by the way, no special process for anything that we're just going to keep using throughout the year that we have used on Passover. We'll just continue using them. We don't have to re-kosher them or anything like that after Passover. Okay, so now with the dishwasher running and the washer running and the dryer running and all the hum of everything going on around me, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera off now and just focus on getting all of this done. I think by now you have a general gist of the amount of work that is involved in getting the kitchen back to normal after Passover. You know, there is so much focus on getting ready for Passover that you kind of don't even think about what happens after. And after, there is definitely a lot of work. I will be working on this for the better part of the day. While it's definitely not as long as getting ready for Passover or as involved, it's still a lot of work. But it's good work, and I'm going to be happy to get back to life as normal. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. As always, I super appreciate it. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload.